Hey everybody, Connie here. Welcome back to another video, guys. And today we're going to talk about how you can tap into the highest version of yourself. I'm going to show you guys my story, my testimony, and really just give you encouragement and hope in times like this that we live in. And so without further ado, let's get on with the video. And also disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. Please seek medical help, professional help if you are in need of that, because we're always advocating for mental health. So Conde at 19 decided that she wants to be the most confident version of herself, where she wakes up every day and she chooses herself. Not the Instagram fake it till you make it type of baddie, but the real baddie, like internally. And so all I knew was I didn't like myself. I didn't like the reality. I was getting my ass beat every day. Okay. There was a lot of abuse going on at home. And both my parents at one point had a really serious health issue that I really thought that they were going to pass away. And I already came up with a plan to, take care of my siblings. That's how deep I was in. And I didn't have my first relationship till I was 19. So really the accumulation of just a lot of stress, a lot of us experience a lot of stress. And so I didn't like my reality and I didn't know what to do, but I heard something about manifestation. So I decided to look into it. All I knew was I just did not like the way that I looked in the mirror, or let alone wake up with myself, because I hated the image of me. And that deep hatred really fueled. People think that like when you manifest, it's this bubbly, soft era of like, oh my gosh, flowers and princess. No, it's actually using your rage, your anger, your fear, your shame, your guilt to release that and give you energy to tap into the reality that you want. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it in 3 steps. The first thing is to be aware. You hear it all the time, right? If you're not aware, you can't heal. You don't know where to go if you don't know where you want to go. So what do you want? And for me, I was tired of looking like this 200-pound girl. I was tired of waking up every day and buying things because I'm unhappy, or maxing out my cards. I was tired of the relationships I was in because I was just unhappy. And so I decided to take personal ownership, responsibility, and accountability. And one day I want to be a mother. One day I want to be a wife. And so I don't want to take this and pass it on. I wanted to heal this and get this fixed. Okay. And that was my desire. I hated everything about myself. And I had no choice but to create the best version of myself that you see to this day. And sometimes you can't skip milestones. That's the one thing. If you want to build confidence, because it's not something that you have, it's something that you do, right? It isn't just awareness is key, but it's also understanding you have milestones, like how you graduate from kindergarten, preschool to kindergarten, first to 12, and then to college. You have life milestones. So if you have so much anger and hate and resentment, you cannot graduate into the world of bliss. Okay, you don't just, people think like manifestation is this woo science, like just wake up one day and say you love yourself and things will go the way they will want to go. That's not how life works. It took me 5 years to manifest this divine version, and 3.5, 4 of those years was just me digging in the dirt and trying to find who I am. And it wasn't until this year on my 21st birthday that I understood what love is within myself, that I attracted a reality, a partner, and everything in that way. And so when I wanted to talk about the myths, right? So awareness is the decision that you decide to make based on what it is that you want. And so when I made the decision to love myself, I now have room to use my mind as a skill, okay, to tap into that reality. So first of all, I wanted a banging body. I wanted the healthiest version of myself. And for 3.5 years of my workout journey, I didn't know what I was doing. And I could have done better, but I wasn't detoxing. I wasn't diving into deeper pictures. I didn't understand anything about chemtrails or heavy metals coming from the water and parasites. But that's what I mean by awareness, and then a skill is questioning everything that you do and understanding that you will find the answer. You don't know when, you don't know how, but you're going to find the answer. Okay. And you have to tell yourself that you're doing yourself well. So it isn't just about, oh, Conde wants to love herself. It's about, okay, well, what does she need to do to love herself? And I just wanted to be this fit girl. I wanted to be, happy with my body, with my mind, and just be the healthiest version of myself. And so I had to practice before I can perfect. Practice makes perfect. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to fail regardless. So there's no escaping this, if I just buy the course, if I just do this, then then I won't fail. That's not how life works. Nobody wants to fail, but that's exactly where the lessons are. So I was willing to fail regardless, from my witchcraft journey to dark magic journey to negative energy removal to seeing different shamans and different leaders, spiritual leaders, to reading the Bible at one point, reading the Quran at one point, reading Hindu scripture. So I was willing to question who I was, to find out who I am, to love myself, because I was just so tired of being fed this lie. And the third thing, right? So self-awareness, right? This willpower to do anything and everything to obtain the skill, to get the result. Perfect practice makes perfect, you could say. And the third thing is grace and space for yourself. And you hear it all the time. I didn't understand what love was, what loving myself was, until my 24th birthday. And this journey started when I was 19. Okay, they don't want to tell you that. Most gurus don't want to tell you how hard it really is to love yourself, especially when the trauma is so deep. So I have a very strong spiritual gift. I always go to source to ask, what's my blind spot? What am I not seeing? What can I do to heal this, to collapse timeline? So my hack, okay, I'm sharing this with you guys. If you are authentic to yourself, you collapse timeline faster. Okay, again, if you're authentic to yourself, you can collapse timeline faster. Meaning, if you stop lying to yourself about how you feel, what you want, what you don't want, what was happening right now, you don't have to run away. And this idea of positive thinking doesn't serve anything if you're not coming into terms in the truth of how you actually felt about something. There are days where you feel like crap, where you want to give up on your workouts, or you want to give up on the business. There are days where you feel like you're not going anywhere, but stop running away from that feeling and feel it. Embrace it. Give yourself about 90 seconds to feel it, find a solution, and then move on. Okay. And it took me a couple years to really build my emotional intelligence. So again, I was self-aware. I didn't like the way that I looked. I deleted all my pictures. My relationships and friendships reflected this self-hatred, because you are what you attract. The second thing is to find a skill. I wanted to look good. I wanted to embody this divine woman. And so, okay, the gym. Some people might be starting a business. Some people might want to be mothers. Whatever it is that you want to build your skill, to building the best version of yourself. And the third thing is loving yourself through it all. And it's not freaking easy. It's easier to work 80 hours a week than to sit and rest and give yourself a reason why you rest. Okay, that's exactly why our society in the West is very performative, right? Very much masculine. So embodying the divine feminine and loving yourself, you're going to have to go against the status quo. And so once Conde was in this process and she's attracting the reality that she wants, she was faced with, you can say, she was faced with a roadblock. I can either be this divine feminine and tap into the most sexiest aura, the most abundant aura, where I'm provided for, where I'm loving this woman every single day, or I can go back to the idea of not knowing my worth because it's easy. Everyone in my workplace, at the gym, very, very much toxic masculinity, very much unhealed, and you can tell it. But in order for you to, people don't talk about the courage of being yourself when you're trying to build the confidence, right? It's not just about self-awareness, making a decision, building a skill, and giving yourself love. It's about, can you have the courage to be yourself? Can you have the courage to be authentically you? That who cares what the workplace says? And if you have to leave a job and get rejected and get fired to move on to a different job, like, yes, because the universe rewards authenticity. The universe rewards you being yourself. The universe rewards you walking in your purpose. And I wish Conde at 19 would have had more faith and love and trust within herself, which is why I'm telling you guys this now, is we love authenticity. If you're so busy trying to be like everyone else, who's going to be you? Who's going to do you? And so that was my message that I felt Spirit saying is, we're just so busy trying to be like everybody else. This is exactly why we have no confidence within ourselves, right? Because if you knew who you are, you'd know what you want. Therefore, you're already confident. But in a world where they're telling you to be doctors when you could have been, when you're meant to be a teacher, or you're meant to be a content creator, but everyone's telling you should be a mother and stay at home. This is exactly why we have no confidence. Confidence comes from a place of misalignment from the real you. Okay, if you know where you're going, what you're gonna do, you never have to question it. But because you don't know who you are, you're not going to have confidence. So confidence comes from an identity crisis. So again, I was talking about the idea of, it's not just confidence isn't something that you have, it's something that you do. Are you doing you? Okay, are you actually doing you? Because if you're questioning every day of, if you're having constant doubt of, I should have pursued nursing, or I should have dropped out and pursued business, then you're not being the most authentic version of yourself if you're having to question what it is that you're doing. Again, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. And I felt Spirit saying too is that, like, never judge yourself or anyone else by the way they move in life, because we don't know the options that they had. Some people just don't have options. Some people don't even have the resources to even know that what they're doing, they could be doing something different. So don't judge yourself or anybody else for what they're doing. And again, wrapping up this video, just to summarize it, confidence isn't something that you have, it's something that you do. Are you doing you? Okay? Are you willing to recognize that what you're feeling? Are you becoming aware? Okay? And then are you going to make the decision to find a skill set to combat that? Because the moment you have a skill set and you know what you're doing, you never have to question yourself. There might be doubts and like, oh, is this the right path? But confidence comes from plan. It comes from this divine knowing that whatever you're meant to do, right? You're meant to do it. And I always am very, very deep in my prayer. And I try to pray like 2-3 times a day. And one of the things I pray for is alignment. I don't ask for a sign, I ask for alignment, and watch how the universe unfolds. And one of the things that I love is divine God, you know, and great enter. You can call upon Allah, you can call upon Buddha, Jesus Christ, whatever religion, whatever you feel most comfortable with, because we're not here to judge. Okay, so you say the name, you say, remove distortions, false thoughts, habits, patterns, beliefs, actions that are not of my highest good, and align me to the highest version of truth, light, and wisdom and love now. And when you say that thing, you consistently say it over and over and over and over again, right? When you ask for alignment, the universe, God, whoever you believe, will naturally remove what doesn't belong. It's just waiting for you to respond. Again, because the universe loves you so much, it has to respect what you say and what you think about yourself. If you have a best friend, if you have a spouse, you're not going to go behind their back or walk all over them or disrespect their boundaries until they say something. So the universe is waiting for you to pick up that phone call talking about, okay, girl, what you want? What you want? Right? And the universe knocks at your door every single day, every single hour, asking what you want, what you want. So for me, I picked up the phone and I was like, look, God, I'm tired of being this girl. I'm tired of being 200 pounds walking, and my parents are telling me I'm walking really heavy, or I look like a pig, or, you know, my mom's shaming me and all that stuff. Or people telling me that I'm not enough, or downplaying who I am. I'm tired. I want the real life, the real thing. Show me what you got. And I promise you, from that moment forward, at age 19, this is the woman that you see now. Okay, and it wasn't just I put my makeup on and I call myself a baddie one day. This is an internal work of 5 years of hell that not a lot of people are willing to go through, because most people don't even have what it takes, but are willing to say stuff to anybody that is trying to be on this journey to love themselves. So again, without love, right, you cannot move mountains. But without faith, right, you're going to stay exactly where you are. So love gives you the nurture. It gives you the support, but faith really pushes you on the next level. So on this discovery of loving myself, I had to learn about faith and compassion and optimism and healing. So it was almost like the universe was just purging every shadow, every darkness that just does not belong in my life. So that way I can have room, so I can be a vessel of light. And before I wrap things up, I want to share with you guys my negative energy journey. Okay. So, in a really toxic relationship where things just didn't work out, we were both misaligned. I went to go see a shaman because something my spirit told me. In the West, you go see a pastor, you know, priest. I call it a shaman. Okay. And so I did a negative energy removal, and I saw ashes come out of my hands. You know, we're doing this turmeric thing, this chanting, and I'm removing these negative entities and these negative spirits. And the moment that I saw this spirit come out of me, this evil and these negative energies, I couldn't help but see the worst within myself. When you talk about degrading yourself to the point, I degraded myself to the point of, oh my God, like it's been living within me. I didn't know. And it's the ignorance, the arrogance, the having to question my identity and if I am a daughter of God or a son of God. And it's like when bad things happen, we think we're not worthy of anything. Because in that moment in time, like, I thought I was pregnant, right? I thought this was a life, but I was so unhappy, so misaligned. And you know, I didn't realize the person at the time was just wanting to talk to somebody else. And so I was so scared. I was holding on to a lot of things. And so when I said confidence isn't something that you have, because I had none, it's something that you do. The moment I casted those spirits out and I paid heavy for this to happen, I had no choice but to move forward. I had no choice but to see the light within myself. And it isn't until you see spirits purged out of you and you have to do a negative energy removal that you really see how powerful you are. Because it's like, if I can share my story and help liberate you guys and show you that you absolutely are made in the image of the Most High and that all light belongs to you, it does, girl. It does. And you have to believe that. I don't care if you're overweight, if you're 60 years old, if you're divorced, you absolutely, the light belongs to you. You are made from the stars, and from the stars you will return. And so with that being said is, do it. Confidence is something that you do. Be crazy about it, right? Now, don't harm yourself and don't harm anybody else in the process, but believe that you can actually be the best version of yourself. That when you wake up one day, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10 years, you would have been so proud of yourself for making the decision years ago. Okay. That was what I wanted to share with you guys. Is I didn't know what loving myself was. If I would have known, it required me removing negative spirits and like negative energy and getting through like 3 toxic relationships and being broke and homeless, living in the streets and like just like, oh my gosh. But I wouldn't have changed it any other way, because I'm still the nicest, kindest person you'll ever meet, you know? So if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change a damn thing, because the woman that you see now, okay? The woman that you see now, I'm really happy that she made that conscious decision at 19. And it almost feels like, where'd all the time go once you reach that world that you've always wanted? And you can absolutely have the relationship and the man and the woman of your dreams. You can absolutely have the business and the home. You can absolutely build a school, make an impact, write a book, create a podcast. You can do it all. And I hope that my content is very inspiring to show you guys that no matter what situation you dealt with, I don't care if you're taking somebody's life, I don't care if you shot somebody, I don't care if you living in your car, okay? You are more powerful. And if all light belongs to you, you can command the light to assist you in this. And I'm going to make that in a separate video. I'm going to show you guys how exactly I command the light in the quantum world and my angels and ancestors and Jesus Christ and God to help me on this journey to become the best version of myself. Because I want you guys to wake up and feel the most powerful version you can possibly ever imagine. And in no way, shape, or form would you ever shame yourself. I never want you to shame yourself while you're just trying to be a first-time human in this body, in this timeline, okay? I love you guys so much. Like I always say, be fruitful, go forth, multiply Christ consciousness, spread the love, spread the peace, spread the joy, and I will talk to you guys next time.